Deuteronomy chapter 28, curses negative energy. That's the title of the video. Deuteronomy 28, curses negative energy. The reason I brought that up is because you got to watch the people you have in your circle too, you know. Pay attention to how they talking to you. And you're going to know whether they with you or not. And you also going to know whether you're a chosen one. I mean, yeah, your spirit bear witness. It's going to resonate because you ain't got to even say, you can just say a certain thing. I encountered this um, a lot. I encountered this a lot. And I encountered it the other day too. When you be around people and people, like, for example, if you've been around in the world for a while, right? People tend to make a mockery at you because you've been around on the earth longer, meaning that they it you can get it shows a form of self-hate because when people speak like that, they showing that they not really happy with themselves or before they even get there. Like if you are a young individual, young person, and you look at an older person as you want to like throw words out there and try to, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, belittle the person because they've been around a while, it just goes to show you what most of the older people in this generation will get older and they will have a bitter negative mindset because it's showing up on them already while they're young. Now, unless they become conscious, and the word conscious just simply means you're aware. Because when you're a conscious person, right, it's just certain things you're not gonna go in a certain route if you're really conscious about what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? Conscious just simply means to be aware. You know, you are aware. You are awakened to certain things. You see what I'm saying? So, uh, you just gotta pay attention. All you got to do is when you get around certain people, right off the whip, if they saying things to make you like down in you or something like that. Now, there's a difference between just telling the truth and you just being upfront or something like that. You know what I mean? But we talking about somebody that look at you and just they feel like they one sided with you because they feel like because you're 90, you're 80 years old, they feel like you're useless. You see what I'm saying? And it's because they don't really read the Bible, you know. Because if you look at Abraham, Abraham had a child when he was 100 years old, and Sarah was 99 years old when they had Isaac, right? So it's never too late for anything, you know. That's a perfect example. When people say that you are too old, or when they say that, you know what I'm saying. People, we understand people say things for certain contexts, but the younger generation, for the most part, all of them. I mean, not all of them. My bad. Most of them, I would say, they have like a hatred. Most of them against they, and that's why I put up that Deuteronomy 28 curses negative energy because all these things in Deuteronomy 28, the curses is up on us. You see what I'm saying? And it's just people when they don't have they not conscious about nothing, then they gonna stay in a dead state. They haven't woke up out their dead state. You see what I'm saying? And they, like I said, the younger generation, they hate the older people. They really have. hatred, and they have a extreme demonic pride in within them, and they absolutely hate a lot of them do, not all of them, but most of them do hate the elderly people. They don't have no regard, no respect, because they get it from Esau. Esau, our people has been trained is to have a disdain for their own kind. You see what I'm saying? And this came through, and this is from a thing that has been perpetuated and established by white supremacy. It really is. You see what I'm saying? And this is like a cycle that's went from generation to generation, and this is a cycle that that needs to be broke. All right, what's going on, man? I know, I understand, brother. Have a good night's rest, brother, and everything. Be blessed, brother. I'm saying, I hope I they be in a hurry. I be, be wanting to chop it up with my brothers, man. But you know what? I don't like to say that word because I don't want to, like. Now I just said that out of nothing or whatever. But when you tell people that, they don't really know what that means when you say be blessed. I be wanting to, like, if I can get a chance to collab, I don't want to just say stuff, you know what I mean? And like it's like I was uncomfortable with that just now, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really like to say stuff like that to people without helping them to understand what it means. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about now. It's about being conscious. When you're conscious about things, like me, I'm conscious. See how I was aware. I recognized and I admitted that I was aware that I wasn't comfortable with telling that man, "Oh, be blessed." You know what I mean? But of course, he gonna understand it in his own way or whatever. You know what I mean? But to be blessed means you're in the you are aware. You know who you are. That's what it means. Keeping the commandments and things of that nature. Because see, at this point, I'm just basically just throwing a word out there. You know what I mean? But if you know what I mean, that to me, I'm just basically throwing a word out there. But I feel like I just feel like in my spirit, I haven't done nothing for that brother by saying be blessed and all that kind of stuff. But it was so fast because people be about, I understand people go to work and they get off and stuff. But I don't want to just tell people just be blessed. I want to be able to explain to people what it means to be blessed, not just say it because it's a word. And I feel kind of odd and I feel kind of bad that in a way, like a like a sense of like I misled, I was misleading, without giving them the understanding of that. You see what I'm saying? And but anyway, the opportunity will present itself, and I'll be able to say, I want to know, I want to be able to explain to you what it really means to be blessed. You know what I mean? Not just say it as a word or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was just wanting to say, may peace and protection be with you. That's what I really wanted to say. But the first thing came out of my mouth was that because people, they be in a hurry. People be trying to go about their day, and a lot of people not willing to sit down and have a long conversation with you, and you have to say something. That's why I say, given literature, I don't want to just go around explaining stuff to people without having information immediately to tell them to go and read. Without, I don't want, just looking at it like, what is he talking about? He told me a whole bunch of information. I don't even remember what he said. Nah, I don't want that. I want people to really understand. So that's how, man, that that I'm just trying, I'm just taking it seriously. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be doing, that's how I made myself aware. I mean, I was conscious and I was aware of what I just did. So anyway, yeah. um People, the younger generation are conditioned under the curses according to Deuteronomy 28, is to hate the elder, not even receive. They don't even, they look at them when if you try to tell them something, say, hey, look, you shouldn't, don't do that, you're gonna go in the way of destruction. They're not gonna understand that. They're gonna be like, you old fashioned, you don't know what you're talking about, you old, and you way back in 1970, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And the question is, why is it that they have a mindset like that? That's the question that I would love to be able to, you know, and make a change. Like, why is it that how did that develop in our younger generation? Did the old was the older generation like that and it just passed on? Maybe the older generation was like that and that's how it passed on to them. You know what I'm saying? To where they don't have no desire for, they just have a desire is to just, you tell them who that you're a Jew, you're a Judite according to the Bible, and like what the hell does that mean? Like what is he talking about? But um being around negative energy, you can pretty much tell when it's actually time to separate from certain people. You see what I'm saying? Because they're gonna always try to make you feel like that. Okay, well, they trying to retire me, and it's an end, and like it's impossible for you. It represents, well, it's impossible for you to do certain things because they put that label on you, or whatever. You know what I mean? But what I really want to say is that I would rather be here and be I would rather be a person that's been here longer and didn't live a rugged life, messing with somebody else's property or somebody else's wife, and then that person get mad and and snap and take your life. You see what I'm saying? Which would you rather have? Being by yourself, been on the earth longer than the other person, and be living a righteous life and spare your life and live longer by being wise and being conscious? Would you rather be old? Like, would you rather be old and unconscious, or would you rather be old and conscious and still in your good health, old and in your good? I would rather be old and be in good health, and you know what I mean, be in good health, than to be old and foolish and be in bad health and dying of diseases. You see what I'm saying? The most important thing is I can truly say that a lot of the elderly people, they are still more than likely blessed. I mean, they're like, by the grace of the Most High, still blessed to be here. Is because they ain't got no. Look, you got people that are born diabetics, bro, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful that you know what I'm saying. I'm grateful and thankful that I was able to still get around and get out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But the way, what I want to say is, whatever people say about you, don't let people determine your path. You whatever they say, you don't have to put yourself in a box because they put you in a box. It just all depends on you. If you're thinking big, then you're going to more than likely you will receive big. If you're thinking small and you allow them, if you receive that, receive the box that they putting you in, then more than likely you are what you think. You see what I'm saying? But no matter what they say that's bad, you still have to tell yourself that you're bigger than that. And that's what I had to do, because I experienced this a couple of days ago. And I heard something, somebody was telling me something. Yeah, somebody was telling me something. And what being a man is all about, you hear what people tell you, that, and you just don't let it shake you. Don't let it shake me. You see what I'm saying? In spite of what they thinking, you don't have to allow what they say, that poison is to affect you. You see what I'm saying? You can just, being a man is that I got to learn how to not to allow that stuff is to bother me. That's the key word. Just like you see my white hair, right? I got a little bit of white hair in my head, sprinkles here and yonder. I often tell people I'm not dying a damn thing. I'm not dying nothing. This is the way. Look, the Most High allowed you. That's like saying, okay, I'm gonna hide it. You ain't hiding yourself living in the world, right? Well, I need to get up. It wouldn't make no sense, right? Don't I ain't, why would I want to hide what God, what the Most High intended for me to be? White hair. Let it show. You know, that's where He wanted. It's biblical. That's in Revelation 1:14. It says head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. Right? When you get older, the hair on your head supposed to represent the wisdom. It's supposed to represent you giving people the right information and not giving people wrong information. That's what it's for. If I say I've been on the earth 49 years, that means the 49 years that I've been on the earth, I should be able to have learned something and go and tell somebody else the right thing. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Not looking at it as something shame. What you trying to do? You this and you that. You owe. Now I'm just speaking. I'm speaking across the board. I'm not. It's not throwing out at anybody. I'm just saying. You owe this. And, okay, so I'm supposed to be ashamed that I've been in the world 50, 60 years. What is it to be ashamed of? That's right. Wisdom and knowledge. Why would I be ashamed is to tell somebody I've been in the world 49, 50, 60 years. You tell me that. You too old. So basically what you're saying is you've been in the world too long. That would make no sense. So I'm supposed to be ashamed that I've been in the world too long. And you've been here 30 years, or you've been here 20 years, and okay, you've been here 20 years. Let's just say I've been on the earth 20 years, which I'm not. And I look at a person who's been on the earth 75 years and make fun of that person because they've been on the earth 75 years and I ain't been here but about 20 years. That wouldn't even make no sense. You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't make no sense. It's like, I've been basically what you're saying, you've been here longer than me. I've been here less than you. I've been on the earth less than you. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? I've been on the earth less than you. Oh yeah, yeah, you've been here a little longer than me, or whatever, I'll make fun of you. You've been here You see how stupid that sounds? It just doesn't make any sense. When everybody time brings about a change. There's nothing wrong. People think it's a negative adjunction. They think it's negative. It's a negative thing. It's for things. It's to grow. That's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, what, you gonna make fun of me because I learned how to write a word? That's the same thing. That's right. I like that. I put it up on the thing. I hear the younger generation say that they don't want to get old. That means they do not want to live a full life. I just got through things. I think I said something like that in my video earlier. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. That's like you saying you too old. So that means what you're saying, you don't want to grow old and experience and learn things, and you don't want to learn wisdom. You don't want to learn something to teach somebody else, is what you're saying. If you're telling me I'm too old, or you saying, oh, that person's too old. Now, I'm not upset with anybody or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just saying, it's just, it just, at this point, it doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? By that logic, if you're saying the person is too old, then I can say, you too young. You can't tell me nothing, right? Now, how do you think that you would take that? You can't tell me nothing. You too young. You can't tell, and I overtalk you and make fun of you because you have no knowledge. That's really what you're doing. You're saying, uh, I'm gonna make fun of you because you don't have no knowledge and you can't tell me nothing. You see what I'm saying? You want me to make fun of you because you don't have no knowledge. See, you see how it come. You see how that. You see the comparison. You see what I'm trying to say, y'all. If you are 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, what? How would that look? Me as a 49-year-old, right? I walk around here and look at a person younger than me, and I just look at them. How would you feel if I made a statement and say, you young, you can't tell me nothing. I know more than you. Yeah. I know more than you. Think about how the comparison to that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if I went around and made fun and like said that's like me if they want to say you're too old, right? Then I can say, well, I know more than you and you can't tell me nothing. See how they would take that? They'd be like, and then because you hear them say, "The one thing I don't like about the older people or whatever, they think they know more than you, and they, you know what I'm saying, because they old and they feel like I'm young and I'm 15 and I'm walking around. They just over talk me like I can't give nobody wisdom or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is a wrong. Which is a they're right. If I was around a younger person, they say I would say you're right about that because you know what I mean. Like it's just stupid at that point because what you're doing is no different from making fun of a person who may be a little darker than you. And say, oh, you dark and I'm lighter and I'm all. It's all the same thing. You're making the only difference is the age. I'm lighter, but you making you like okay. You what you're doing. You're trying to compete that's what this is all about, and that's why I named the video the Deuteronomy 28. The curses in Deuteronomy 28. You see what I'm saying? Because what all this is doing, this is no different from people who is fighting over who is the lightest and who is the darkest. Oh, you lighter than me. You look like a so and so. You look like a whatever. You know what I'm saying? You look like one of those what you call that? You look they may tell a person who look you don't even look black, you look like you look like you Esau, you like you're a white person or whatever. You see what I'm saying? All those words that white supremacy created is to make our people fight against each other and to be competing against each other. Who's the youngest and who's the oldest? Who look better and who look this and that and all that type of stuff. The thin nose and the thin lips and stuff like that. And it's just a brainwash thing that's a white supremacy thing that they use to inflict their ego to show we're gonna put we're gonna divide we're gonna do something and put something out there to make blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans compete against each other. You see what I'm saying? So we can have them fighting against each other and stuff like that. So the all of those words was created during slavery. All these things, it goes back to slavery. You know what I mean? They would it was a certain way that they treated the slave owners treated the older people. They didn't have no respect for the older people at all. You know, they didn't have no show no favor to the young or the old. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have no respect for the elders or none of that. You know what I mean? Shooting at people down in the streets and stuff like that. So all those different things, when you say, "Oh, you too old, you too this and you too that," all those things come from slavery. It's a mindset. It's a mindset of your enemy. You see what I'm saying? The enemy created that in your mindset. Just like we go and we date outside of our race, right? And think all of that comes in. Say that's why the so-called black woman hate the black man, and that's why the black man hate the black woman, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 54 and 55. The Bible said his eye shall be evil toward his brother. And then it says that in verse 55 of Deuteronomy 28:55, it says that uh, the tender and delicate woman amongst you, which will not avenge to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. That's going into the black woman, the so-called black woman, and black man, a black woman hating the black man, and the Hispanic man woman hating the black, the Mexican, her own so-called Mexican Hispanic brother. You know what I'm saying? That's going into our women's how they wanna, they've been conditioned is to like making them say, I'm gonna call the police on you and make you go to court and have you pay child support and all that. That's evil. You know what I'm saying? All of that, all those things is a curse, man. You see what I'm saying? And those are things that we are under because we're using all these different things, and that's why you see the the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man and woman, they 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 go out they outside their race. It's because they not really. If you see them dating another race, they not really happy with themselves. They'll tell you that they happy, but they not really happy with themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because they have not, we have been so under siege, we are so under siege in our own, and it's dealing with Deuteronomy chapter 28, the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And the Most High said that these will be one of the curses to let the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people know who the real Jews are, and that's how we can tell who we are by when we look at the curses, we can identify with these things, and that's why the Bible said that in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 46, these curses will be upon thee for a sign and for wonder. He said he told us. He said the way you know who you are, you're gonna be able to look around. He said there's gonna be a certain people that's gonna have all these different things on them to show who the Israelites are. And people don't realize, but they prove it every day. Like all this stuff, get your old ass, or whatever. You can't have in that. Shut the fuck up and all that type of stuff. Like if you try to stand up for a brother, right? Because his brother's standing up and he's being a good father to the best of his ability. And you may have a sister that may have a mind, the mindset of an enemy. She may tell that man in the comments, say, shut that fuck up, shut the hell up, shut the hell up, all this and that and the third. And all you're doing, you just trying to say, give the give the brother credit for actually standing up and being a father to his children. You see what I'm saying? But they'll turn around, they or get into that slave mind mentality mindset, and they'll just come out with the mindset of their enemy and try to ridicule you all kind of ways and not realizing that they're being used by the enemies to do that. You know what I'm saying? Our enemy is Esau. Esau taught, that's just like Malcolm X said, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you how to hate your nose and hate your lips and your thick lips and your thin lips or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of people walking around and say, oh, I wish I had thicker lips. I'm not satisfied with these thin lips and all of that. And this and that. All of these things is to keep us divided. You know what I mean? Like you may have people that may look at you and they say, "Well, you don't look black. You look like you have well, you have this. You have these things. You're not. Look at your nose structure. Look at your all of those things was created is to perpetuate the philosophy of white supremacy. We don't even know that. That's why the Bible says in Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8, it says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the remnants of the world, not after Christ. The philosophy, that's a philosophy of Esau. We don't even know that. That is a philosophy of Esau that he created, put that in us. Look at you. You ain't all black. Look at you. Look at how you know what I mean? Because our people then went out and mixed with the other nations of people, and that's why when you got people looking, oh, you ain't black, look at you, look at your nose, look at your nose structure, you ain't this and that, you know what I mean? All of these things is because these things separate us. You see what I'm saying? Let me show it to you. I want to quote it from Babylon Temple of Two, since I feel like I can read it a little better. I'm gonna show it to you. All right, the title of this first page is called "The Final Dispersion of the Black Jews of Africa." All right, it says because me- because most of the history in the Western world has been distorted, it because it becomes necessary for me to explain to you some of these distortions, says her he rich bruh, a European writer. The inhabitations of Wallerton are a mixed race of blacks and whites. Now, the question is, whom does he includes as his whites? Continues Barber. Continues Burke. The whites are Barbers and Arabs. These Barbers and Arabs were not whites in ancient times. What is his basis for calling them whites? The obvious reason is that he wants to attribute ancient advantages, civilization to the white race in order to perpetuate the philosophy of white supremacy. Many black people have straight noses and thin lips. That's what I just got through talking about. The black people that possess these qualities are said to have a white ma, morphology form. Joseph Williams has this to say about the blacks of West Africa. In most, excuse me, in most mixed groups of Negroes, a Songhorns, Songhorns may be identified at first glance. His skin is black as theirs, certainly, but nothing in his mask conforms to their well-known characteristics. The nose of the Songhorns is straight and long pointed rather than flat. That means a wide nose. And the lips are comparatively thin. That's like some people like thin, and the mouth wide rather than prominent and broad. That means like a Negro. While the eyes are deeply set and straight, and their orbits a a a, cur, a curious glance, a coarsely glance shows that the profit the profile resembles that of the Europeans. Some European writers have even penetrated into the blackest Africa and divide the blacks according to the shape of their nose. See that? This is what I'm just got to talking about. This is what I'm saying. It says in It says some European writers have even penetrated into the blackest Africa and divide the blacks according to the shape of their nose and lips. Continues Williams, the Songhais. Hold on, the Songhais through black-skinned. Excuse me, y'all. Through black-skinned and woolly-haired, their features are often of Caucasian cast. That means their features look Caucasian. There are many colored people in the United States with straight noses and thin lips, even as black as tar. And the Europeans do not classify these colored people as belonging to the white race. After extensive research, my conclusion is this. Some European writers have classified certain tribes in Africa and Asia as belonging to the white race. They do this as long as it is a psychologically an advantages and in order to inflict their ego and to give them a prominent place in Afro Asian history. See that? See, you can't look at, because see the Europeans, a lot of them people that's in Africa over there, they don't classify all them people as belonging to the black race, or the so-called black race. They don't classify all of the Asian people as all belong to the so-called Asian race. They classify some of the people tribes in Africa as darker than me, excuse me, darker than me, belonging to the white race. You see what I'm saying? They don't classify all of the people in Africa and say they all black. Cause they know that they know that The Hamites or the Canaanites or the dark skinned people, they knew that those people were slave owners and had our people in slavery. You see what I'm saying? And even they know that that they trying to compare the so-called black and the so-called dark Hamite race. They trying to compare those people to our people over here. Even though we have some resemblance and stuff like that, but that doesn't make us the same. But the Europeans forced that. They forced that upon our people in order to inflict their their ego. You see what I'm saying? In order to promote, and because see what they're doing, they're benefiting off of it. You see what I'm saying? They actually benefited off of the suffering. You see our suffering, you know? And they know this here. Every time they pull one of our people over on the streets or whatever, Esau does that, they are actually benefiting off of that. They benefiting off of it in a good way, but we suffering behind it. Because the more of our people that they pull over and give tickets and stuff like that, that's money, probably thousands of dollars going in the Europeans' pocket. I quoted this here on page, hold on, wait a minute. From this book, I'm gonna show you the page I quoted. I'm not gonna be able to go back and read it. You have to go back and look at the video, probably. Hold on, wait a minute. They got music. Hold on. Page 105. Page 105 of Babylon Temple of Two is called the final dispersion of the black Jews of Africa. The final dispersion of the black Jews, uh, the black dispersion of the black Jews of Africa, early North Africa. That's on page uh, 105. That's on page 105. Yeah. So yeah. So I just quoted it, but you have to go back and watch the video to see. They have not experienced life. Okay. Oh, I read that already. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But I'm gonna get up out of here and I'm gonna see y'all later, man. I stayed live long enough. The video is called Deuteronomy chapter 28, curses, negative energy. Yeah, yeah, it's negative energy. So I'm gonna get up out of here and I'm gonna see y'all later, man.